then that is deeply subversive.
See? You always mess up with the things, and then we started the stream now. I hope you're happy.
I'm happy.
Good.
Then that is deeply subversive.
Welcome to the P.O. box. With me in the box today is my bothersome man.
That's a good one. You work on that?
Actually, just came to me.
Wow.
You believe me. Welcome my husband to talk to me about this Norwegian film requested maybe over a year ago. I can't remember at this
It's got to
point.
be at least a year.
We started this podcast to talk about films, and I asked for requests.
Yeah.
Someone sent a generous super chat for this Norwegian film that was difficult for us to get. We couldn't even buy the DVD on a disc. We had to we used some sort of magical methods, but because someone cares about this film enough to request it,
Yeah,
and
I managed to dig it up in the end.
And we watched it, and I had some things to say about it. So I think it was a long overdue debt. Hope no one's going to tell us that we.
Should you bring the chat up?
It is up. No one said anything yet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to check the audio is working. Okay, it is working this time because we started without the mic working last time.
When they complained there was no audio?
You'd think, wouldn't you? But no one's saying anything, which is kind of disconcerting. Maybe I made it a private stream.
Can't you check the YouTube?
It's fine.
Okay.
Let's just get on with it.
Go on, you say your thing.
Den Brinsummannen is a Norwegian film. I describe it to someone who has no idea what it's about. I'd say it's a kind of Brave New World style dystopian film, kind of like a
Brazil.
It's almost like an episode of Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
It starts off with it's something like reality, where you can imagine that the things you're watching are really happening in our world, but as the film goes on, the reality of it becomes even more kind of warped. So it's not science fiction anymore. It's like
I think it's
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts off fairly unambiguous in that it's not in the real world. And I didn't quite understand the start when he dies. He jumps in front of the train at the start. Then later in the film, he jumps in front of the same train, or it's showing.
Yeah, it's a. I bet you're wondering how I got in this crazy situation without the voiceover.
Yeah, so I guess you don't know how he arrived there, which I guess is fine. I mean,
I wanted to say just right off the bat, I think a lot of people haven't seen this.
Yeah, obviously
they can't watch it. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but still, I feel like we shouldn't talk about spoilers. I don't want to really get into the particulars of the plot.
Well, I think very few people will even try and watch it.
So you think we should just spoil it?
Yeah.
We'll provide.
You can just not watch it.
We'll just talk about it, and you can have the experience of watching it vicariously.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much plot in this film. It is mostly, what was it, like ambiance?
Yeah.
It's not like you watch it and go like, oh, that's the twist.
Yeah. Because it's somewhere out of reality, there's a sort of feeling that anything could happen and that nothing really has consequences.
It's definitely like dream-like-esque feel to it. I mean, I think watching like the 7-minute Q&A that was on YouTube for this film, the guy said it was based on a radio play, and in the radio play, it's explicit in the radio play that the guy's gone to hell.
Yeah.
But I think he, and then he says that it was, he wanted to leave it ambiguous whether this was heaven or hell. Because at the end of the film, he goes to a worse place. Yeah. Or it's implied that it's a worse place.
So we should describe what the place is like, because the film, the man is really he's not really the driving force of the film. Like he's the lens through which we view this world, this dystopia, this heaven, hell kind of purgatory place where we don't know how exactly he got there, except that he's been offered a job, presumably, and he's had to move to this place to take this job.
I don't know. It's only when he gets off the bus that the guy says that he's got a job. Okay.
So it's possible that he just died and he woke up here and doesn't. It's like a dream where he doesn't really know how he got
here.
I
don't think the implication is that this is the like hell for suicide people, because he kills himself. He's the kind of guy that would kill himself, and he does like self-harm throughout the film.
Yeah. well, I guess that's really reading outside of the text, but it's definitely open to interpretation. How exactly?
Yeah,
he's ended up
there
here.
is not much text in the film.
Yeah, it's all interpretation, I'd say. That's not to say that it's really that it's really pretentious and wanky, because it's not. It's it's kind of a dark comedy. There's situations that are.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's
the oddness of it is played for.
Maybe not really pretentious.
I mean, yeah, it's not like a half a minute kind of.
I mean, I think overall, I'd say the film would be better as like a 20-minute.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone, like you
Yeah.
get the point fairly early on, and then like the actiony sort of climax of the film, was it Ted the Caver bit at the end is like a lot of the meat. There's a long, quite tedious section about like his romance life.
Yeah, it almost feels like a different film.
I don't know where that was going when I was watching it, and I didn't know what the point of it was.
Before we get into it, we haven't even explained what is weird about the place he's gone to. So he's got a job at a place, and it's kind of sterile but also friendly, and everything is just kind of this grey green.
Pleasant.
It's very pleasant. It's not really authoritarian like a 1984 kind of enforced sort of situation.
Yeah,
it's just that everything just kind of works. Everyone's very
there are
everything's very clean,
but they're quite passive, and the only thing they do is when he self-harms and hurts himself, like when he cuts his finger off, they turn up and sort of wheel him back into the correct place and fix him up and put
that
him
happens
back.
very early. Did you I wasn't quite paying attention at that part. Did he do that on purpose or by accident?
Well, it's like most of the film, it's not explicit, but it's pretty clear that he'd be
kind of stupid to do it by accident.
I think it's just before the scene just after the scene where he goes to the bar and there's guys in the toilet saying that nothing tastes or anything here.
Yeah, this is this scene. I would it's really weird that this guy on the floor of the bar, he's got sick on him. It's explained that the alcohol doesn't actually make you drunk in this place.
Yeah, the whole the food and the drink and everything, nothing tastes of anything.
Well, it's not that it tastes of nothing; it just doesn't taste good. Like it doesn't bring joy.
It's bland. Yeah.
But this guy is sort of sitting on the floor of the urinal, and it's not explained why he's there. But he's not the one who's explaining why everything's bad here. There's a guy inside the stall. You only see his shoes, and our Bothersome man, the main character, talks to him through the wall, through the cubicle door, and he's the one telling him that at some point after he came to this place, he started to realize that nothing tasted good, and he alludes to the fact that even his friendships and his romantic relationships and his sexual relationships don't bring any joy either. But they're not bad. Like there's nothing bad happens either. Yeah,
I mean, it is a bit. I don't want to get too like autistic about it, but it did bother me the fact that he in this scene they established that the alcohol doesn't make you drunk. Yet there's a guy that's got implied he's got so drunk that he's sick, or did he just make himself sick?
Yeah, it's very odd. He's just kind of dabbing at himself. He's not really acting drunk even. It's like it's almost like he's in a play where he's been told what a drunk person does, and he's just there as a scene, as a set dressing.
I mean, another thing that isn't made explicit is like, if everyone in this place is the same, like they've all come to this place, or the other people are like working there. There's demon. Like, are the other people demons, or are they?
Yeah, are they people who've come here before him who are just used to it?
Like,
I think at the end it does imply that everyone else who came here, like most of the people who come to this place, they like it. Yeah, they like having a comfortable life with very pleasant surroundings, very clean, sort of effortless existence, and that he's weird. He is the bothersome man because it's like the ones who walk away from Ominous. Like there's this one kind of special person who can't quite like fit the groove. They want to just disrupt things.
Well,
they want things to
he
go
wants
weird.
more than what's there.
He has I should explain. He has a long-term girlfriend that he meets in this film, which I thought was kind of interesting. Like it's implied that this isn't prohibited. It's very easy. Like he just asks her out and then she says yes.
Yeah, and then they become sort of soft married.
Yeah, they're I thought that was perhaps one of the messages of the film, if I was reading too much into it, is this like their relationship is so sterile that they don't even have to get married, because to be married or to not be married is like they're equally pleasant. So it doesn't matter. Like the fact that they live together, they don't really love each other or or hate each other. They just sort of like, it was almost like they're pretending to be married.
Yeah, it was unclear whether she was again a real person or an artifact of the place, especially at the end where she's got another guy.
Yeah, well, yeah,
is she just one of the things that exists in this place to torture people?
I think the impression I got, if I had to guess, the world building.
Yeah,
it's what they call it, a soft world building. Like nothing is explained in this film. You kind of left to fill it in yourself. But I imagine that the people who are used to it, who act like they're like this is all normal and fine, they've just been here longer and they like it like this. That's the impression I got.
Yeah, I guess you don't know how long people have been here.
Like she may have had like hundreds or thousands of long-term relationships in this like eternity of.
They do make it explicit that there's no children there.
Yeah,
that's not just. It's not just shown that like he specifically says like, don't you miss seeing children? But they don't. It's like people know why there's no children, but they don't articulate exactly why. So I guess they know that they're in some other place.
Yeah, so the people he talks to, they know what children are.
Yeah.
And they think whenever he brings up babies to his boss, and his boss thinks he's having a mental breakdown, like it's tantamount to like saying the N-word in the workplace. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, the most obvious metaphor I can think of was the sort of the xenophilia that we talked about previously.
The director.
Yeah, this kind of idea that the sort of Northwestern European environment is too boring, too peaceful, repressed, and sort of like not real and not like. It's not
seasoned.
There's no seasoning. It's just a bland existence, and this man wants to escape that to a more like rich,
ethnic multiculturalism.
Yeah, or a better food.
Yeah,
that's the
food not tasting of things definitely does sort of lend itself like in our. This is made in 2005, but today it would read more as an explicit condemnation of what they call European food or white people food.
Yeah, I think it's definitely more vague than it being from 2005. There isn't a like super politicized angle to it. It feels more just a vague, like a soft satire on unchanging, pleasant European, I guess, Scandinavian countries. Yeah, like everyone gets on, everyone's nice, everyone's okay, everyone's in a relationship. There's no big problems, but there's also like no drama and no like excitement. And this guy, like he wants
something to happen.
Some peaks and troughs, and he wants to taste his life, which is I mean, it's. I don't know how famous that copy pasta is for John Cleese, but there was a copy pasta floating around a few years ago about sort of like imagine you're John Cleese and like you wrote all these like sketches and comedies like poking fun at like this
satires,
retired majors and
repressed British
people, gently laughing at them and like the British like sense of humor and pleasantness, like not like attacking you because they're too polite to go after you and just sort of like
being too stuffy and
allowing that that environment producing this kind of disdain for what they had, and imagining that it could never go away, and then like John Cleese like seeing like what that attitude has wrought.
Yeah, he was part of the cultural shift that allowed it to happen.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine this film being made any much later than 2005, really, without it being more political.
So how does this relate to the John Cleese cover? Just to
the film itself is, I guess the point of the film is to be, again, it's probably more gentle than anything John Cleese wrote, but it's meant to be a gentle poke at, like I said, the sort of like a stable,
Scandinavian,
well-functioning society that,
it's just too boring.
Yeah, like just he's everything. Yeah, because everything's safe or everything's familiar, nothing seems exotic to him, and like he craves exotic foreignness. Like that's the climax of the film is this other man that was in the toilet with him at the start of the film. He seeks him out towards the end, and he finds out that he's living in like a little like basement somewhere, and in the basement there's a hole in the wall, and if you listen for the hole in the wall, you can hear music and smell
music from the normal world, world where things taste good, and a world where you have.
Well, I mean, if it's meant to be heaven and hell, then that would be like probably.
Well, it's like Earth. I think it's not even heaven. It's just Earth. Like
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you could read into
our world.
Obviously, the place where he's in is Earth as well. So you could imagine that this place being a better version of like. But the director said it was like southern, Italy or France or somewhere. Like it's sunny, warm,
slightly exotic, Southern European,
and the smells like wafting in, and like you can hear children on the other side. And there's on the it's like one of the few pictures you see of it is like there's a children's drawing there, so implying that there's like wherever this is, there are children, there are people, there are whatever bread this is with icing on it.
Yeah, some kind of European bread.
Yeah, he manages to like desperately towards the end of the film. He's like desperately trying to get through. He manages to get his arm through and grabs like 2 slices of the bread, and then he gets pulled out.
But this is where the film becomes like explicitly not. This is not Euclidean geometry. Like it's not possible for this wall to actually be connected to this other kitchen. This is a kitchen that's hundreds of miles away. So what we're seeing is this. Firmly
it's a magical portal.
It's like allegorical or whatever it is. I understood your take on it, and I respect that.
What is your take on it?
I think that this.
Your incorrect
I think this film is maybe not intentionally or unintentionally, whatever it is. I read it as more of a more derisive of the dual income, no kids. Lifestyle where everything is easy and pleasant. You get to just be with the person you love. And I have a picture of I had a picture of them at another point of the film, but they don't get married, they don't have fights, they don't have children, and they
live in a very nice house.
Yeah, and everything's tidy, and but it is just kind of sterile, and it doesn't. It kind of leads you to ask, what is this for? What is the point of having this romantic relationship? Otherwise, neither of them is. It's like they're not aiming towards anything. They're not producing anything.
And kind of see, he never really does. He ever address the no kids thing to the woman, either woman?
I'm trying to remember, but yeah.
The only time I thought he mentioned it was to his boss. It was like an aside, and his boss looks. He's a crazy person.
And also the go-karting. At one point, his wife says that they've been invited out go-karting, which is a very childless thing to do. Like, oh yeah, we're adults, but let's go go-karting just for fun. Like, oh, it's a stag weekend or something.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the whole film was quite vague. It didn't feel like it was really trying to go after anything, but it had a few ideas it was playing.
Another film it reminded me of was The Lobster,
because again a similar magical world.
Yeah, the Lobster is explicitly in the realm of magic, but also it feels like it's satirizing something, or it's. I think
The Lobster is a bit more specifically satirizing relationships and the need to be in a relationship.
but it's not like an
society.
it's not an allegory that like fits over like our world like properly. It's like why is it like why is that the rule? Okay.
Well, I think the lobster. I don't think it's very pointed at what it's pointing at. I think it's somewhat, but it's way more pointed in this film. Unless I'm just being like a retard and I can't figure out what this film was really going after. I couldn't. It felt more like the guy wrote a cute story that sort of like, you know, I mean, it's really light on story and light on laughs. I'm not saying that like it's not funny, but it has like a joke every like 20 minutes or something. Yeah, it's not like it tries to make you laugh and fails.
It's just slightly absurd.
Yeah, there's a few absurd moments, you know, like where his wife, where he says he's leaving you, and like she says why or whatever.
Yeah.
And she asks him to stay until Saturday because they've got people coming.
Yeah.
Like, you stay until Saturday,
but she doesn't even act like it's going to be socially awkward to explain that her boyfriend left her. It's almost like, oh, I'd planned for you to be at this dinner party. Can you at least come to the dinner party? kind of thing. Like it's, you know, you're kind of messing up my plans a little bit. Can you put off breaking up with me for a few more days?
Which isn't beg. She just says like it's all very like understated.
Yeah,
he states that, oh, you staying? I advise people around on Saturday, and he goes, oh well, I guess I could stay until Saturday then. Okay.
Also, the part of the film that we're talking about is when he starts to have an affair with another woman, which is, it doesn't seem to be prohibited by any part of society. Like the woman doesn't mind that he already has a girlfriend he's living with. His girlfriend doesn't mind when he wants to leave her, and he finds out that the new girlfriend, the blonde one, not in the picture I just showed.
Yeah, it wasn't even that exciting.
He like eats ice cream with her and he kisses her, but she's really not any different from his wife. Like they're both very bland, pretty women. They don't really have a personality. They just sort of exist quite pleasantly. You know, they make very boring conversation quite politely with him. But I guess that's the most kind of the most joyful this world comes to is when he says he's fallen in love with another woman. And it's kind of like Anomalisa, where you think like, oh, well, this woman is like different. And now that he's like properly in love, he's going to realize how flat his life was before when he was with his last girlfriend.
Yeah.
But that it all falls apart when he finds out that his new girlfriend has she doesn't really like him any more or less than anyone else. She just likes everyone. She just goes on dates with every guy who asks her out. Yeah,
but she's also willing to give them all up for him if he wants, but like not in a enthusiastic way. Just
she said that
passive.
He asks her to move in with him. He wants to be with her, and she's like moderately enthusiastic about it because she likes the idea of living in a place that's bigger, that has a bath instead of a shower. So it's like she moderately like is excited about the idea, but only as much as she would be if any of the other guys that she was with asked her out, which to me seems like a explicit pointedly criticizing sort of modern casual dating almost.
I mean, I think it'd have to be like I say, I've struggled to come up with anything that is pointedly going after. I think the primary motivation was gentle amusement and subtle poking at a pleasant civilization.
Yeah, I think it's a case of the sort of death of the author phenomenon, where you have to kind of analyze it regardless of what the author was trying to do, because that guy was kind of a shit lib to not to put too fine a point on it. So like whatever he thinks of the world, like we can pretty much chuck that out anyway. But regardless of that, kind of like the Barbie movie, right? Like regardless of what the director, the writer was trying to do, you can still find meaning in something, something absurdist like this.
Yeah. Well, I would say I think there's almost like a meta parody moment in the film, because at the end he does go to like a real bad place and he doesn't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he immediately doesn't like it.
Yeah, because he tries to break into the heaven or whatever it is, Southern Europe, he gets taken away by the men and finally put him back on the bus.
He's not allowed to go back to his like normal world.
Yeah,
because presumably
he's
died in this world.
He's
and he has to go to the afterlife.
He's transgressed a few times in the film, in that, like when he cut his finger off and he tried to kill himself on the train. Both times he was sort of like returned to his starting position, but this time he's obviously gone too far, and they put him back on the bus.
But before they even do that,
luggage
he goes to meet like the mayor of the city, this place.
Yeah,
and he says like, "I don't like it here. I want to leave." Like, it's not even like a punishment. They're like, "Okay, well, we're not forcing you to stay. Like, if you want to leave, we'll take you." And then he's like, "Oh, great, I get to go back to normal world with food that tastes good." But no, he's ejected from the Garden of Eden, and he has to go to some.
And he doesn't just get put on the bus; he gets put in the bus's luggage compartment.
Yeah,
which has got like weird like things banging on him, and it's a very painful experience.
Yeah, I thought that was quite like a. I don't know if I was like in a very emotionally vulnerable state when I watched that, but I found that entire sequence quite upsetting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was quite effective.
It was very well shot and edited, and like the sound design and everything was really like, it made it look extremely uncomfortable and painful. And he's like in this mental anguish as well, listening to this like beautiful music while he's being like tortured in the bottom of a bus.
I don't know. Yeah, in the director's writer's defense, I don't know that if the point is that maybe you should be grateful.
Yeah.
Like, was this place so bad? Like, couldn't you have just made the best of it?
Yeah, like, okay, well, you don't want this. Well,
there's much worse things that you could be suffering than food that isn't,
well, I think like if you
super tasty.
I think putting it onto the allegory of like what modern life is like, that's one of the points that the mayor makes to him right before he gets taken away. Is like, there's no disease here. There's like, you want to be in pain, you want to be in hospital, like you want, it's the same thing that we often talk about on this channel. Like, if you go back to pre-modern times, industrial revolution, or even agricultural revolution, like, do you really want to live in that world where half your children live to the age of 10, and you're constantly got toothache and you're like various maladies that just medical science does not have a cure for?
Yeah, I guess I could get behind that message of the film. It's about not being ungrateful for what you have, and trying to escape it, and leading to a much finding out that
it can get much worse than this.
It can always get worse.
Yeah, I also wanted to say the middle of the film, which I thought was the end of the film, but it didn't feel like it had gone on for quite long enough. Which is when he throws himself in front of the train. I also thought that part was like shockingly horrific, but possibly because you've been lulled into this very sedate, pleasant world, for so long that it's just kind of you really sort of breathing slowly, like you're very relaxed watching this film, like gentle scenes playing out, and then this like really horrific sequence of him being struck by a train again and again and again.
Yeah, I would have thought that was the comedic. And the train, like, he jumps in front of the train.
His train like drags him down the track.
He jumps in front of the train, and the train comedically stops way too fast, and he doesn't get hit.
Yeah,
and he's just lying in front of the train.
It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon where it stops like an inch in front of him.
Yeah, and like you think that, it's just part of the world where like, the train
can't get hurt
him, but then the train like immediately accelerates to full speed and hits him and drags him down the track, and then he wakes up and he's in agonizing pain, and then the train comes the other way and drags him all the way back down the track, and then he like gets up and walks out.
There's like a Norwegian man on the platform, like just a train commuter.
Yeah, you can hear him crying out, "Help me!"
Yeah, you can hear some kind of like indistinct gurgling, like cries of anguish, and this it's like businessman is just like, "Hello, is someone there?"
Yeah.
It is like very very simple sort of.
I don't know what on the face of it, it's just because it's the film starts with two people kissing in a very like obnoxious, in your face way, and he's watching them, and then yeah,
Like it's quite disgusting, and also like these people aren't actually taking pleasure in kissing. It's like they've read a book about kissing and they've like been told.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Again, if they're meant to be residents or their staff, like they're to torture him, because he's like seeing them triggers him to jump into the.
He knows he doesn't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, yeah, like, I'm still not 100% sure whether that was meant to be a loop. Or
no. I don't know why you got this loop idea. Like, no, I don't think so.
Well, because the shots are slightly different, or I thought it was slightly different. So I was just wondering if it was like the first scene was him killing himself, and then as part of the like hell that he's gone to, that place recreates the thing that made him kill himself.
Yeah, but then at the end of the loop, he goes to it's like. Why did he break out of the loop? Like, why did he go to that like Siberian, like windy, horrible place at the end?
Yeah, I agree. It's like soft world building. I don't think this film is meant to be.
There's no definitive interpretation.
Yeah, there's not like a hard world building. It's very much like Harry Potter. Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah,
whatever it needs to be for the scene. That's what it is. I think the points of the film. Because it's October and we're watching films, we've been watching a lot of horror films. And when he was getting hit by that train, I really felt like this was more horrific than a lot of the horror films we've watched this Halloween.
Oh, we haven't watched anything that horrific.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to watch a Terrifier with you. I think I know enough to know that I don't want to watch that. So thank you for whoever recommended The Bothersome Man. I hope you're watching this because it's been a long time coming. But it was worth it, I hope. And we've got a super chat from DRT. Thanks very much. Streaming at normal Whammon's hour time for the PO box. If you're still taking requests, then can you watch Ralph Bakshi? Sorry, Ralph. I do know that name. I didn't read it right. Ralph Bakshi movie Wizards. It's a family picture with mid-century German enthusiasts and a heavy metal aesthetic. Well, that sounds bonkers, but I'll have a look. Thanks very much for your donation. So it's certainly worth looking into for that. Taking a little bit of a break from Whammon Hour, and for subsequent Fridays, I'm going to be practicing in my choirs, in the choir for the carol service. I'm not in a choir all year round, but only at Christmas. So for November and December, I'm going to be busy on Friday evenings. So Whammon Hour is either going to be rescheduled or on hiatus for a while.
You should do
pizza streams.
Yeah, who wants pizza stream?
If you want a pizza stream, leave a comment because I don't really believe that anyone likes it. But
everyone likes the pizza streams. Plus, we've got a new kitchen and you can show it off.
Yeah, the new kitchen has an oven. It's got an oven with a clear door, with the benefit that I could film the pizza in the oven. It only takes 6 minutes to cook the pizza, by the way. When you have a pizza stone and the pizza stone is hot, the pizza cooks very quickly. That's how a pizzeria does. That's how they get orders out. People don't understand this. They don't understand.
They do understand.
No. People, every time someone asks, why is that pizza done already? How could it only take 6 minutes? That doesn't make any sense. But if you have pizza stone, it makes sense. But you can, if we make the stream, the last 6 minutes of the stream would be watching
half an hour to make the pizza.
Yeah. But you can actually watch the cheese bubbling and becoming toasty. That would be the main incentive for doing a pizza stream. Look, DRT doesn't even know what it is. Wow. No one likes these. Anyway, pizza stream is just where I talk while I make
streams
pizza.
Are still up on your channel, aren't they? Or did you delete them?
I have privated many streams in the past.
Pizza streams is where you get the dough and you roll it out and you talk about current events.
Just stuff that's on my mind.
And you roll out the dough and make a pizza, and then you put it in the oven.
Put the sauce on, put the toppings on, put the cheese on.
When it comes out, and everyone gets to look at it, and then the stream ends.
Yeah. It takes about half an hour.
Yeah, half an hour, 40 minutes, depending on...
Basically, when I don't have enough time to do a video, I used to do it, but now I have a live stream.
It's comfy pizza streams. Everyone liked those.
Okay. Well, if we get enough comments on this stream, a lot of something secret that I've been hiding from my channel is that a lot of my creative attention has been on a novel that I've been writing, and the second draft of this novel, which has been 3 years coming down the pipe after the first draft was finished 3 years ago. This edition of the novel.
Look, Pope's Exorcist. I told you.
So Garnet has given us a super chat for £10. Won't bother trying to win a bidding war, but the Pope's Exorcist could make an interesting review. I've seen the trailer for the Pope's Exorcist, and I have to say
It's good, doesn't it?
For £10, I'll think about watching it. You wanted to watch it.
I'm gonna watch it regardless. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna watch it regardless.
I don't know if you're gonna watch it.
I mean, I live with you. Like, where am I gonna go?
I haven't watched films when you're not here.
Yeah, as if I ever go out.
You wanted to watch? We could review Prophecy. Was it Prophecy or is it Prophecy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Warlock.
Warlock. I'm not gonna. If Proper Horror Show wasn't having on her channel, I'll watch Warlock.
Watch Warlock 1 and 2.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about
The
Warlock.
duology.
It's not really. It's not like it's ripe for interpretation like the Bothersome Man. It's like what we saw on the screen is what happened. It didn't mean anything except.
What did the Resident Evil 1 item inspection mean?
That's a very niche reference. Okay. Anyone who would like to read my novel, send me an email and I'll send you the PDF, because I've never written a detective novel before, and I don't know how obvious the clues and the payoff is going to be. I really don't. I really want people to read this before I really finish it, so that I know how people will even process reading them.
Yeah, writing is rewriting.
What is that?
Stephen King quote.
Okay.
He said writing is rewriting.
What does that mean?
It means that you write first draft and then you spend the 90% of it is
Rewriting.
after the first draft.
You know Robert Heinlein?
Yeah.
The sci-fi writer? That's
I
his
know
name.
him, yeah.
Okay, I thought I was getting his
I'm aware of it.
He said that you should never rewrite. He said that the way to become an author is to write a book, send it to your editor. If they like it, they'll edit it. If they don't, then just move on to the next one because it's not good. And he wrote dozens of books.
Dozens.
Hasn't he?
Yeah. I think more than dozens, but yeah.
Hundreds?
Hasn't he?
Hundreds is the next one up from dozens. So if it's not hundreds, then it's dozens.
Scores
of books. He's a prolific writer. But yeah, I guess that they're both genre authors, but they've got very different approaches.
Yeah, writers often have they often write books about how to write, and it's about how they write, not.
Yeah.
George R. R. Martin doesn't like having any structure to his.
He doesn't like using a word processor.
Oh, he doesn't like planning out what's going to happen.
Yeah, he just likes not finishing the series instead.
He gets bored and stops.
From DRT for $5, so it's worth keeping the stream going because these streams super chats are still coming in.
Okay.
I bought enough of Razor Fist's book to know how I'll buy your book when it's done. Oh, thanks very much. That does. At least I'll have one person buying it. Yeah, so it's a detective novel, but it's also a kind of grounded slice of life story. It's about a teenage girl who works in a independent video rental shop in the year 2001.
It's got 9/11 in it?
No, 9/11 is like a kind of dagger hanging over the heads of the...
It's set in the World Trade Center. That'd be good. There's that rom-com set. Is it rom-com or just
Dear
romance?
John.
Yeah, it ends with 9/11 happening.
Mm-hmm.
Does the guy die? Is that?
I think it's kind of implied. Yeah, maybe I should do that.
That'd be good.
But the theme of the book, as my English teacher would say, the theme of the book is about, it's the end of an era. The World Trade Center attack was just one thing that was coming to an end in that sort of transition period. End of the 20th century. This character, she's coming to the end of her school life, and her friendships are sort of hanging in the balance. She's on the precipice of becoming.
Well, that sounds like a compelling story.
And there's a mystery going on.
A mystery
in the shop, and she's the only one who's there to solve it, and no one will believe her. So if you want to read that for £0, you can send me an email.
If your time is free, it's £0.
You can read the PDF and tell me if it's if it's no good, or you can wait until I self-publish it and you can buy it as an ebook or a paperback.
Yeah, you can wait
From
until it's
Amazon.
actually finished.
Yeah. But if you want to read it,
Yeah, it's like,
if you want to do
it's
me
like
a
reading
favor,
the first draft of Harry Potter.
yeah. I mean, it could be. The 13 people watching this and the several hundred who will watch it later, the people who watch the end of the stream are going to be the kinds of people who want to read my novel before it's out.
Yeah.
So
Quality people.
email me, and email me if you want a pizza roll. It's Poe the Person. That used to be the name of my channel. Remember, Poe the Person at gmail.com.
I always thought it was still Poe the Person, but you are Poe the Person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your channel is Poe's Law.
This is Poe the Person signing off for Poe's Law.
There's usually more branding opportunities because you have like Poe the Person presents Poe's
P.O.
Pizza.
Box. Yeah, Poe's Pizza.
Poe's
The
Pizza.
P.O. Box.
P.O. Box.
Poe's Whammon. Whammon Hour. A Poe's Law production.
Poe. No, I don't like that. Can I think of something better than
Poe's Whammon?
Is there any film or book that's got like Poe something women? There's
I was
Little Women,
thinking
but it doesn't really work.
I'm trying to think of like a gangster rap saying about hoes. You know, pose before
Pose before hose. That's it.
Poe's Law presents Pose Before Hose.
I do like that. That's what you should rebrand Women's Hour as.
For the second time. Okay, that's enough. Thanks everyone for viewing, and leave a comment if you want the pizza stream to come back, and leave a comment if you want Pose Before Hose to be the new name of Whammon Hour.
The pizza stream, you could pay for toppings.
Okay, put pineapple on it, and then I'll pretend I don't want the pineapple, but actually I do.
Yeah, Nutella. You could show the toppings. Beans.
Baked beans, the most horrific thing of all.
Oh no, don't pay us.
£1 for each bean. Right, that's enough. Stop it. The end of the stream.
Where you might get more
Have
money.
a good night, everyone. Keep sending more money. The stream is over though. Bye bye.